Dude, welcome to episode 6, y'all.
Woo!
Oh, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Let's go.
Ryan, I'll let you introduce our guests here.
Dude,
today.
heck yeah, I would be honored. So, as I said, welcome to episode 6 of Knuckle Down Podcast. Today we have the pleasure, nay, the honor, nay,
the pleasure,
the absolute privilege. I think we already said pleasure.
Oh, yeah.
But pleasure is so nice we said it twice. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for BUCKMASTERs.
I wish I had this is where we need drops.
Not
sound
yet.
drops.
I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm going to say one thing. Dwyer Michaels, eat your heart out.
Yeah. Dwyer and who?
Dwyer. Well, I actually made them a demo tape once, and they said they didn't listen to it, but I heard some of it on the radio.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
Was it hits or something? I mean, they play a lot of stuff, dude. They get deep in
It was, I made
catalogs.
I made some skits of people.
Oh.
I can do voices of people.
Can you?
Oh, yeah. I can do, Chango Chavez. Hey, what's up, man? This is Chango Chavez. We're going to play some cards. Yeah.
Dude.
Yes.
I remade Highway to, I wouldn't know if I should say that, but AC/DC's Highway, you know.
Yeah.
I made it, well, let's play some cards and get together and play cards, man. But, yeah, I changed a version of it.
That's good, dude.
And I heard some of it on, and maybe I'm wrong, on You Know Who.
Yeah. We'll stop saying their name from here on out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Dude, you're fitting right in, man. I gotta say, this is absolutely spectacular, man.
I was born this way.
Dude, I know. The first time I met you at work,
Yes.
backstory, I met Buck at my new job. I'm on a lawn mowing crew, and we talked one day on a break, and he just had amazing stories and was telling him with such charisma, and I thought, dude, I literally told him, I was like, what'd I say?
I need a podcast.
I was like, you need to. I was like, I said, have you ever heard of a podcast? And you were like, what's that? And I was like, oh, dude.
Wait, did he say, are you fucking with me, man?
Yeah, you did. You said, are you messing with me, dude? I was like, no, man, I'm dead serious. You got to get a podcast. And then in that amount of time, couple months, we've started a podcast. And I was like, dude, would you come and hang out with us and tell some of your great stories? And here you are. Thank you for coming, man.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
I've got one story that happened. I told Adam this today. I was watering flowers. I water flowers for Express, or I should say, Moline Public Works. And I'm watering flowers, and this older lady is walking in the plaza. So I said to her, I said, hi, and I started talking to her. She says, oh, man, I know. I said, you know what's good about getting old? She said, what? I said, nothing. So then she turned around and looked at me and said, you are so right. She said, but yeah, I'm still making it. I'm 80 years old. I've been in the hospital over and over again. She said, but let me tell you something. The lady that's taking care of me is older than me. I was like, okay. So you see this older lady pull her car up, and I look at the name on the plate. And she turns around, she says, and I say the name and repeat it, and she goes, oh, yeah, that's her name. That's her name. She said, let me tell you something. Like I said, the lady taking care of me is older than me. So she gets out, walks with the other lady with her walker, because this lady had a walker, and the 80-year-old lady, of course. And then she turns around and she says, happy birthday to the older lady, as she walks up to her, and she says, and I said, oh, happy birthday. She says, yeah. And I'm assuming this is the one that's taking care of her, and she says, yeah, she's 91 today. I'm thinking, you're in better shape than the one that's 80. I mean, like Adam said, good genes.
I said, they have really good genes. Or
Nothing saying anything bad
really
about the
good.
poor other lady. She was very nice and friendly. I don't even know what her name is. I never got her name either.
Good. Well, we won't say it.
That makes it better.
Exactly.
That makes it
I don't
better.
know her name anyways.
It was just an angel testing you to see if you were nice.
No, I think the angel tested me today is when I was at the park. There was this poor gentleman sitting there with his head down with a hoodie on. I'm like, just looking at him. You know, I'm watering these flowers. And in a way, I'm thinking, nowadays, I'm thinking, should I walk up to this guy and say, are you okay? But you don't know what people are going to do. So then he sat there, and then all of a sudden I looked up, and he was gone. I'm like, did an angel test me today or what? That's where I got the angel today.
Dude, and you failed.
Failed
You didn't
that
help
one.
him.
That one was not a
No, because I had the thought of walking over to there, and I was just leery. So, so maybe I
Leery.
passed the test.
The thought
Maybe.
counted.
That's why he left, because you passed.
Oh,
Could
yeah,
be.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the thought that counts, I guess.
It really is.
That's the moral of the story.
Who knows?
Well, that's some good stuff,
We'll
man.
never know.
Well, that's like I told you the story. My best friend was named Jerome Hubert, and he was from Moments, and he's trained me to work out. And I turned around and found out that his sister is the original Vivian off Fresh Prince. They're from Moments.
Really?
Yeah, they're from Moments.
Oh, shit.
They're all buried in Moments. You can go on the internet. I used to, and actually look, because Jerome passed away, and look and see his grave on the internet.
Whoa.
Dude, there's a vast library of graves on the internet.
Really?
Yeah, have you seen?
I've never
it's not
even thought.
We don't need to get into graves right now. We don't need
Well, I mean, hey, dude,
That's a great feeling. Don't do
great,
that. Exactly.
great feeling.
we'll circle back to the graves, man, for
Okay.
sure.
I had a foreman named Larry Graves.
A what?
A foreman named Larry Graves I work for.
Larry.
Do we have to
Larry
blot out
Graves.
names of stuff?
No,
He
I
was-
mean,
He was very drastic. He was kind of a jerk.
What's up, Larry?
names are fine. I
Hey,
think,
shout
you
out
know?
Larry
Well,
Graves.
here he's training me, or he's getting trained to be a foreman. He did everything to get his way all the way up. They called him Locker Room Larry and No Sweat because he didn't work, apparently, for years. And so anyway, so here he comes. He's a foreman. I'm sitting in the chair. I'm just sitting there, and I just got my head down. Actually, I was kind of dozing off. And he kicked the chair from under me. And he's like, "You're not supposed to be sleeping." I'm like, what a nice guy. He mellowed out as time went on.
Dude, that's
What a
hilarious.
nice guy,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, well, when I was at work, I cut my finger up, and then years later, I guess apparently after he retired, he called, and he was friendly enough to say, "Hey, is Buck okay or not?" Because that's my nickname. And I was like, oh, God, at least he cared about my finger. He cared about me, because before he sounded like he didn't give a crud about nobody,
Wait, so is your nickname Buck?
That's my nickname.
Oh, dude, I thought that was your legal name.
No, that's my nickname.
Can you? What was your full name again? You told me the other day, but I don't.
My
It was a
full
lot.
name is Richard Edwin Buckmaster Jr.
Yes,
But if you want to go by my DJ name, it's DJ Rebel or DJ Low Crow,
Dude.
the Moon
Dude.
Stalker.
Dude, okay.
Moonstock.
That's good. So before we get into any more stories or hot topics or trending things, in like a brief minute or so, give us like your background on like where you've been, what you've done, because
Like this? No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I was a nerd when I was a kid.
Okay.
I was a very nerd. I was a burrhead.
What type of nerd? A book nerd or like a
Did you like to read a lot?
read a
Did you read a lot
lot
of
or read
books?
math guy or were
No, I
you?
just didn't do nothing. I was a nerd.
Okay.
I mean, I wasn't in the cool spot at school, I wasn't
Okay.
the
I
cool
got
guy.
you. I got you.
Cool schmool, dude.
Right. So I hung out, and all I ever did in my life was, at that time and always, is stuck to music. That's my main frame.
Okay.
That's it.
Amen.
Music.
Never let me down, man.
I have approximately 4,000 CDs at home.
Oh,
So,
man.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I'm into music deeply, and a lot of the entertainment industry I love.
Mm-hmm.
How do you?
Dude, you got me. I'm hooked. Let's
Yeah.
go. I'm in.
Oh, anyway, so basically, I went to school till I was 16, and I said, "Nah, I don't like this. I want to party and pick up girls," and I walked out.
No way, dude.
Yeah, well, the truth of the matter is I didn't get along with my stepmother, so I left.
Okay.
She asked me if I was going to wash the dishes when I didn't wash the dishes, and on top of that, her daughters are the ones that did the dishes, and she was a little different.
Nice.
So I proceeded to put the hammer through the wall, and I left. I took a ball peen hammer and I put it through the sheetrock wall, and she looked at me like I was nuts. And you know what? At that time, I was a little nuts.
Yeah. Dude.
So then I first got on the street, and when I got on the street, this guy's standing there. He's like, "I seen him last week, and he had blonde hair. Now he's got black hair." I was with my cousin. I go, "Why you why'd you dye? What'd you do? Dye your hair? And he goes, yeah. He goes, man, I've been stealing purses. I had to dye my hair. I'm like, man, this is my first day in the street. I hope I ain't got to live like this, you know?
Dude, oh my gosh.
That's what I was thinking. And I had a massive amount of music. And I remember I lived in some house and I had a nice stereo and stuff. So I traded it all off for this so-called rent when I was living in this building. And then there was this real tall, weird chick. And her mother, she would go into the room with her mother and stay there. And she wouldn't leave the room.
Okay.
And I couldn't understand it. And then we decided we're all going to take these white pills with a line in them. Man, I couldn't stand up.
What?
She took 5. She passed out. The ambulance took her away, the real tall chick. It was strychnine. Never again.
What is that?
What was that? What is that?
It is poisoning. It's poisonous. So we took. I mean, that kind of turned me off to chemicals at that time. I didn't want to try anymore for a while. Then I decided. Well, let me just go through that one. Okay, from the time I was 13 to the time I was 17, I decided I'm going to smoke pot. So I didn't go from being, hey, just smoking pot. That's cool. I'm like, hey, wow, man, I'm fried. I mean, it was to the point where I was always stoned. So then I decided one day somebody had laced my pot. I'm down in Alabama. Me and my buddy, Timmy and Dave, took off to Alabama.
Shout out Timmy and Dave.
Yeah, Tim Reed, which he's gone. Rest in peace, Timmy. This guy bragged about having 2 holes in his heart. And then they brought him back to life. I'm thinking, that's not really much to brag about, And so then,
where'd the holes come from?
And then he got,
Where'd the holes come from?
From smoking too much crack cocaine.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so
Gotcha.
So then he decides to indulge in deeper drugs, right? So then he turns around and gets hepatitis twice. You only get it once now. You don't get it twice. Freaking, he's gone. It took him away.
Oh
La la, goodbye. Not saying I didn't care about my friend, but you do it by the sword, you die.
Absolutely.
Basically, that's what happened.
Absolutely.
R.I.P.
Now, my other friend, Dave, he's not a bad guy. Okay, I like Dave. But, I mean, I understand and here's Dave, but this is Dave's personality. When we were kids, we always got high, right? I seen Dave one time get tired of getting high. One time. And one other time that, this is typical for Dave. We had a 5-hitter of opium. What's Dave do? He goes and sucks the whole thing down in front of us. And then looks at us, and everybody's about to kill him. And then he goes, oh, and lets out all this opium, That's Dave. Dave's not a bad guy, but
he might take
pot rules.
the whole hit.
He takes the whole hit.
Anyway, so getting back to me. So after I was done with the pot, we went to Alabama, me and these 2 other guys. So you know who they are now. You got a point of it.
Yeah.
So we got over there and somebody laced my pot, so I freaked out. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm sorry.
Laced it with what?
So I decided
That's fun.
I decided to take acid.
Wait, what do you think they laced it with?
Like
I don't know. Could have laced it with acid, or maybe what do they call that? Formaldehyde. Yeah,
wait, the stuff
they
that you,
do dip pot in formaldehyde. They still do it.
the stuff
Really?
where they like.
Yes,
Dear
they dip
Lord.
it. You know what formaldehyde is, don't you? They embalm you with it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, whatever it was, I remember I was freaking out that whole night. So then after that, I decided I'm going to do MDA. I did that for a little while, and then I said, well, forget this. I joined the Army. That's another story. Me and Dave go to join the Army, right? We go in there. This is the first time we tried to join. He goes in there, and they're asking, this doctor walks in, you ever take any drugs, anything? And Dave goes, man, my sister slipped me a hit of acid, I think, man. So they send him over to the psychiatrist. And the guy, he says, what do you think about people about throwing rocks at glass houses? He goes, well, you'll break them, man. So then he was disqualified.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
He couldn't go in.
Damn.
But, I mean, Dave's good. Don't get me wrong. I love Dave like a brother, but, yeah, he didn't go in. He didn't get to go in. I don't know if he really did want to go in, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. You know, I really don't think Dave wanted to go in. But, yeah, that was my up to about 17. And still, all through these phases, one thing I always did, I always got back to music. I don't care if anything I ever did in life, music. Oh, and of course, chicks. I mean, they're always there.
That's kind of the same thing in the way.
That's a
you know?
gimme. Yeah. But they're always there, you know. Either they're weird or they're okay or they're nice or whatever, you know. But yeah, I mean, all my life, I've always been kind of an entertainer anyways. I've got tapes at home where I've made tapes of doing news things and all kinds. I did a whole entire commercial for 20 minutes on how to buy Saturday Night Fever's CD.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like
You should see
podcast
it.
before podcast.
Well, yeah. I've been doing this stuff way before this stuff even came,
that's
before
dope.
this idea even came out.
That's
Dude.
dope.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I've been doing all kinds of stuff all my life.
Dude, so did you end up going into the Army?
Oh yeah, it was exciting.
What made you decide to do that? Like, is it just like it was like a directionless thing, or this was like
well, here I am when I'm a kid. I'm watching Vietnam on TV, and I'm getting really into Vietnam.
Okay.
I want to go to Nam. Okay.
Right.
My dad was in the Marine Corps. He was in Korea. And in fact, when I wanted to join the Army, he goes, I wanted to join the Corps. He goes, no, don't join the Corps, join the Army. Well, my dad was a DI. In fact, you want to hear this story. One time we're at the house, right? My parents split up. I had to cook and clean for the house. You know, I'm the one doing this stuff. And my dad goes off with his girlfriend to Vegas. Well, we're downstairs in the basement making a freaking water pipe out of a pool filter.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so it's not working. So we leave. I'm with Dave because I always hung around Dave all my life, you know. This is before the Timmy issue came up. Timmy didn't come till a couple years later.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so then we left. So my other friend, Chris, who was with us, Chris, what's he do? Chris calls me and says, hey, man, this is like 3 hours later. And we had left and gone back to Dave's. He says, your house is on fire. I said,
No.
what? And so then I went back to the house, and all the basement windows are kicked out. You could see where the water hit. The ceiling's burned up. Oh my God, it's black in there. It stinks like smoke. You know, and I had cleaned up the I did all I could to clean. I tried everything to get the carpet clean. You can see where they ran across the carpet. They kicked in the front door.
Wait, so
Oh, my
was
God.
Was it on fire or did you get broken into?
No, that's what the firemen did. They kicked the front
Yeah, I
door
was
in.
gonna say.
And they hosed the basement out. Oh, man. So then my dad, he gets home and he goes, son, I see you took out the garbage. And Dave's standing right there and he goes, oh, you took out the garbage. You cleaned the house. I said, yeah, Dad, we took out the garbage, cleaned the house. He goes, what's that smell? I said, we had a fire. He goes, oh, you took out the garbage, cleaned the house, had a fire. Dave, go home now. So Dave goes down the block. He's walking. Here goes Dave. All of a sudden he goes, and I'm thinking, I'm dead. He's going to kill me. So he walks back to the door. He looks over and Dave says, Dave, come back. I'm like, oh, good, I'm not dead. So then all of a sudden, here comes Dave back. Then he grabs me by the ear, pulls me to every window and everything I busted, and tells me, you will never get allowance again. So I'm over here, and he's showing me all this stuff. I'm like, oh, man. But I'm so glad he didn't kill me.
Yeah, dude, that's a...
Well, I was always with Dave. Always with Dave. That's like me and Dave decide one night we're going to go after curfew. My dad tells me, because we did a lot, but this particular night, my dad says, don't go tonight. It's not good. And my dad was like psychic or something, you know. So I decided we're going to go out. So we're in Chicago, in the north side of town. This is in 1975. I'm 15 years old. So we're going down, and this guy's drinking wine, driving. He's 19 years old. All of a sudden, he blows a stop sign. We get pulled over because I said, we're going to get busted. We went into the police station, south side of Chicago. And here we are, and Dave's crying, oh, my God, we're going to jail. And Dave's yelling, oh, please. I'm thinking, Dave, forget it. I mean, and they were just, these south side cops were just using all the dirtiest words you can hear, MF this, MF, everything to us. I'm like, holy, I can't believe this. You know, and I'm like, these are really mean. I mean, you're 15 years old, and then the guy is with us. He's 16 at the time in Chicago. With a curfew at 16, you can get out of it. Okay, he could have went out. I said, Dave goes, no way, you're a ride, man. He says, I was hitchhiking. Dave turned around and says, bull crap, he was with us. The other guy at 19, which would not happen now, they let him go and gave him a ticket.
Whoa.
And he was drinking he had a big jug of Boone's Farm apple wine.
Dude, that was a thing back in the day. Have you guys seen that video where they're like interviewing folks back then? They're like, they're taking our rights. I just worked a long, hard day. I should be able to enjoy a beer on the way home. Like, it's like, first this, what's next? And it's like, what is next? They're going to make us wear seatbelts? Like, and it's like,
I've seen that.
It's like, whoa, that did not age
Well,
well.
no.
That's so funny.
Now they're not seatbelts; they're straitjackets.
Yeah.
That's the way they're worn now. Have you noticed this? You're like, I gotta get. That's what I call them now. I call them the straitjackets. That's like the people who drive down the road and want to go around you and drive like they're insane. I call them special ed. I even yell out the window, "Hey, special ed!" Sometimes they look, sometimes they don't. I'm gonna make me a piece of cardboard that says special ed on it and get off the phone.
Get off the phone.
Get off the phone.
Bro, yeah. Yeah, never mind. Dude. I'm not going to say what I was just going to say.
I know what you're talking about. We won't discuss that one. But yeah, legal purposes. I understand. But yeah, that's an issue. I mean, and then you get the people who are on the phone who pull over in front of you, and you're like, really? Can you pull all the way over? You know? Do you know how many people try to run me over when I'm watering flowers on 15th Street?
Dude, I saw you the other
that
day.
is
We
the
almost-
worst street to drive down.
Dude,
I'm
me
like,
and Adam almost got blasted by a white Tesla yesterday.
Or,
Who did?
2 days
Me
ago.
and Adam when we
Was
were
that yesterday?
mowing. Or
I believe it.
a couple days
Yeah.
ago down there right next to the post office.
That'd be a good payout, though.
But that would've
If
been
you
bad.
make it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's
If you
Tesla,
don't
come
make
on.
it,
But the mowers have like no...
Well, that's-
Oh, okay, yeah.
that's
yeah.
like bikes. Check it out. Okay, you can ride in the road, but here's the thing. If you are under the legal right and he hits you, if you live or if you're not maimed, you're stuck by the rules. But guess what? Now you can't walk. You have one wooden leg or one titanium leg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
dude.
I mean, I'm not saying that people don't have rights, but there are certain things that if you watch people on bikes, they don't stick by the rules either.
No.
No. There's a war. Hey,
They'll
there's
fly right through.
a constant war being raged right now between bikes and pedestrians.
Yes.
And then the other front is cars and bikers, I feel like.
Do you remember when Biden wiped out on his bike?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, I actually don't remember that.
Yeah, you
Wasn't it
don't
a
remember he
big-
fell
No, I
over.
don't.
It
When he
wasn't
first
that-
got into prison, he fell over.
He like was getting on it or something and it
Oh.
toppled.
No,
Yeah.
I think he literally wiped out.
I mean, he wasn't. I don't think he was like going fast and like. Like
no,
it was
no,
like,
he was kind of
he was turning or something, and
he was moving.
I
Very
mean, I'm not trying
slowly.
to downplay it. If you fall,
He was
off the
very
bike.
slowly. No, I'm not saying. I mean, it's terrible to have an accident. That's bad.
Yeah,
It's not good.
right.
I'm not praising the accident. I'm just saying.
No,
that.
no, I wasn't saying that either. I wasn't.
The point is, people on bikes, they are vulnerable on bikes.
Dude,
Yeah.
motorcycles. I've thought about this so many times, and I'm like, man, I want a motorcycle. That's part of it, dude. Just the risk, the
You
throttle.
like the risk. You want the risk.
You have to. I
Whiskey
mean,
throttle.
Well, that's the whole point of it. It's kind of like when you see on the side of a car, the pusher. You see that pusher sticker, you know that they're going to be mean. Your chances are, that I did see, I seen something on the back of a car the other day, and I wasn't, I won't say the whole thing, but it was interesting to say, it had this guy that was arrested for doing bad things in certain areas, and he had a weapon on him, and it was appropriate for his for his charges. Put it that way. I for one wouldn't shoot people, but I'm just saying it was just funny to watch it.
dude, I don't
If
know
I ever
what
get
you're
a chance,
talking
I'll
about.
tell you about it.
I was gonna say I don't know what you're talking about anymore, but
Dude.
I want to laugh. Oh,
Yeah.
nice work.
He's
with
a-
the-
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, dude.
I'm
was
sure
clear.
they can read lips.
We'll
but-
talk about it in the shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
But,
I think I don't know if you're allowed to say that word or not.
You might not be. Don't.
I don't know.
The P word.
It's funny if you listen to Dwyer Michaels.
P with an EDO.
Yeah.
something like that.
YouTube. You can.
You
can
say
say
it.
it,
Say
yeah.
it, Buck. Buck.
Okay.
Buck.
It was
Buck,
it was
Buck,
saying
Buck,
it was
Buck.
said in the back of the car. What it said in the back of this truck. It said, "I shoot pedophiles,"
Oh yeah.
and it had him on his knees, and he looked like he had a 12 gauge on him.
I've seen those. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's appropriate or
I get the message.
I get the
Yeah.
sentiment.
I get the sentiment. I'm maybe I'm radical, but I don't know. I don't really want to like take out the punishment myself.
I just think
Yeah.
I think they should just pack them away so deep that they can't ever see the day of light.
Yeah, I mean that's
I'm only
fair.
kidding. But yeah.
but I'd like the justice system to do it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, I don't think I should
Exactly.
be doing it myself.
Do I?
Well, when you get in that, and Dave was my buddy. Dave was locked up for
At least the chair.
He got busted for selling a substance.
Okay, yeah, substance.
Which was 2,000 feet within a school in Oklahoma, and they'll give you life for it.
Really?
He got 8 years.
Oh, yeah,
He got
Oklahoma.
8 years.
Jesus.
Oh, my
Yeah, 8
goodness.
years. But he wasn't in a maximum prison, he says. He said he was okay. It wasn't that bad, but
Still 8 years.
I don't know. If you look at Dave, Dave's not a bad guy, but he's 141 pounds and he's 6'4".
Oh,
He's
Really?
surreal. He's always been squinting.
tiny.
He's very, very thin, and it's sad because he knows it. He said he was hooked on crack for like 30 years, and so that's bad to your system.
Oh,
Mhm.
dude.
Yeah,
I
can't
think
be.
so.
30
be good.
years of any drug
Yeah.
is not.
That's gonna do something.
I feel like 30
I'd be
years
right.
of caffeine fucks you up.
I was going to say 30 years of ibuprofen and you're like liver shot.
right.
Well, that's like today. Okay, I went to the dermatologist, and I have this whole 2 sheets because I take so much supplements. And he looks at it and says, "Oh my God, all this medication." I went, "Nah, man, some of them are supplements." He's like, I'm thinking to myself, is he right? Is it going to make me die? Or what? Well, then the stuff they give you anyways, you ever watch on TV? What do they say? They say, okay, take this. It may cause, and you're taking it, if you got fibrillation, take this, but it may cause heart attack, stroke, or this
death.
brain
Yeah,
infection.
right, yeah.
And you're thinking, wait a minute here.
Yeah, dude.
I'd rather have the heart attack.
All those commercials are like, this might kill you, and it's like kids playing with
Diarrhea.
Yeah,
on a swing set.
Dude, diarrhea is always in there
Yeah,
real quick, too.
Oh, yeah.
Diarrhea.
You're going to have bowel problems.
If you
yeah.
take any pill off of an ad while you're watching Hulu, diarrhea is in that list.
You
Yeah,
might
absolutely.
die. You might die.
I don't watch Hulu, so I didn't know. But they all say the same. I've got antenna television, and I've got streaming, which is called Family, but it has other channels on it. And the other one, and I like him. He's a good entertainer. But there's some commercials that they show 1,000,000 times a day.
Oh, yeah.
Of
Oh, yeah.
course, yeah.
Mhm.
The one
Yeah.
about what is it? Taking the bags out of your eyes. I did this.
Oh,
My
yeah.
father has tried this too. I'm like, oh, that's cool, But I mean, they're selling the product. What is it? It's rock shell. It's all in rock shell. And and the chick's name sounds like Thigalo. Her name is Thigaro.
Oh, wow.
And I'm thinking Thigalo, Thigalo, Thigalo. Every time I hear
Easy.
every time I hear it, I'm like, I
Take it
want to
easy.
sing Thigalo, It's rock shell.
I don't even want to ask you what the name is. It sounds bad.
I don't know. I can't mention
Sounds,
it. I can't even say it anyway.
What is it? Tigaro?
Thigaro.
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 yeah,
You know, like the
watch
cartoon
it. Whoa.
Thigaro.
Figaro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Everybody was lost for words for a split second. That's pretty good, isn't it?
dude, that name.
What are we going to think of next here?
It's a crazy name.
Dude, I can't get over it. I mean, dude, yeah, man.
So we left off at the Army with
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Here
like-
I am back to the Army.
I was
Great.
this
curious
is-
what made you want to join it.
Dude, this
Like,
is-
what was your
Mhm.
like?
We're
I was
doing this.
stupid.
We're doing
No. I wanted to join it because I have a patriotic family. My dad was a Marine.
Okay,
He was in
okay.
Korea, and I'm watching Vietnam, and he's drilling in my head. I'm going, no.
Yeah,
no.
okay.
So then, and I hear all these stories, and I mean, they've heard me talk about certain things about military people and all this, and I mean, I'm very objective to certain things because my dad was, And the fact when I went into the Army and I'm in basic training, my dad was a DI. And that's what went back to my dad being real mean to me and Dave. Dave, go home.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I meant by he was like, he had the quarter trick.
What's the court?
You put it on the bed and see if it bounces when you make the bed.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
He had the push-ups. He had everything. So then when I went into the Army and I was in basic training, I'm like, and I'm laughing. And the drill sergeant looked at me like, what's so funny, recruit? I'm like, nothing, sir. I'm trying to keep him laughing because I'm looking at this dude, and this dude's like, yeah, I'm going to make you mad somehow. And he just couldn't do it. In fact, this other junior guy that was in our platoon, he was the junior guy to the drill sergeant. They caught him smoking joints with the recruits.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he got busted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Push-ups.
Well, back then in the 80s, I joined in 80. And in 81, I was actually officially in basic training because for New Year's, I was in reception station. In fact, this guy's on a mic and he's calling us. He's screaming. He's going, we're on third shift, and he's going, third herd, they call it. He's going, hey, third herd. He's yelling in the microphone or into the into the intercom. Shut up, guys. Go to sleep. You know, like we're all a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
It's a holiday, man. We want to celebrate.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
It's New Year's night. What the hell? You know?
stay
What are we
till
going to do? You know?
What the fuck?
Sneak some doobies in there.
Yeah, we couldn't do it. You know, back then, too, it was, the drugs were real. I don't know how they are now, but it was deeper. You'd have guys like, hey, you want to buy some Coke? I'm like, I'm in the Army. I can't believe I got away from this stuff. I stopped getting high, and I'm back in it. And I'm like, nah, I'll go get a cheeseburger, you know, because
that'll curve your.
well, it was either that or, you know, I didn't want to flunk my stuff. I had one buddy was in there. This guy, okay, we went in there, and like I said, they were laughing. One time we went to advanced training school, and this is the first weekend, and this guy passed out right on this little Mexican dude. He was our at that time our teacher or whatever you call it for AAT. And he turned around and he says, and he looked at that dude, not to be sarcastic to anybody, but he looked at that dude and he says, and his name was Sergeant Quintero, he says, you will go upstairs with me now. So I'm thinking, damn, this guy sounds like the Gestapo. So he takes him upstairs and you hear him, and they're not supposed to touch you, but you can hear him bounce off the lockers. Oh, you know. And then he told us, you will highly shine your shoes, the bottom of your shoes. You will shine the top, the bottom, everything. We had to make them like Hershey bars, the bottom of our shoes and the top of our shoes.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah. One time, I seen a guy. We were in the grenade in basic training. We had 2 live grenades, 2 fake grenades, 2 dummies. What do? He grabs the wrong ones
No.
and throws them into the hole with the dummy. You know, and the drill sergeant says, what are you trying to do? You trying to kill my dummy, my honey? And so it flew up in the air and it bounced off the thing. One time they took Annie, which was the one we give CPR to, and they dragged him down, and they're dragging her down the hallway by the neck with a piece of rope, and they're bashing her head into the wall. And it's like almost a full woman getting beat up, you know. And I'm looking and thinking, you guys are in a lot of trouble. Thank God the drill sergeant. There come the drill sergeant walking through. Who's beating on my Annie? He comes running around there. Oh my God! And then when he finally called and he seen him, they had Annie hung up behind the banister, the escape thing, the stair escape, hanging there like she was being hung, and they had a hang loose on her. Oh God!
Were they just looking for?
Oh, they
trouble?
were doing some nasty things to poor Annie.
Were they like?
Oh, no.
Would they get punished by like running miles, or did they like get down and give me 5,000?
Yeah, what's the
What do they do to him?
Oh man. Those guys, we had one guy, he turned around, he screwed up one time. He went over and walked up to the band members in the NCO club. And he turned around and asked them for a paper, and it was an MP. And he went to corrective facilities custody. They call that. What that is you go back to like before basic training. He's running around us in AAT. This is advanced school now. We're out of basic training. He's running around us going, I will not smoke pot. And he's pulling up, doing pull-ups. I will not smoke pot, and doing push-ups. I will not smoke pot. He's running around us. Yeah.
Damn, that's serious.
He was a recycle.
Is that what they call it?
Recycle.
That's it. Recycle. If you're bad, if you go through, you're a recycle.
They just recycle. Like you're gonna
Recycle you through again.
Damn.
You get up to 3 times, and that's it. You're a flunky.
You're just
done.
jacked by the end of it.
So you can only be recycled 3
You're
times.
lower than
for-
slime. You're out. you
You're
know.
done.
Man.
But yeah, I had my fun time, but I always kept a low profile. I tried to.
I mean, what do you expect? A bunch of kids.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna go do some stupid.
Imagine a whole bunch of people running all at one time. They're all running, and they're all in formation. And we're running. This is where AAT, we had come back. And this is one of our weekends. Because the only thing there was to do was to go to, I was in Georgia, but I I can't remember. I know it was in South Carolina, Fort Jackson. But then I went to Georgia, Fort Gordon. We call it Fort Garbage. The nearest town 8 miles away was Augusta, Georgia, which was a strip joint. That's where everybody blew their money. That was it. So anyway, then we're out running formation, and he looks over to the sergeant one day and says, Sergeant, permission to puke. He goes, get out of my line, man. Well, he tripped, and the whole entire platoon rolled on him. We all, we're all rolling. You son of a gun! I mean, it's a domino effect. He's in the middle, and it just caused the whole entire platoon to just crash.
Oh no!
It's like Bugs Life.
It was a drag.
It's like
Thank God
Bugs Life.
we were only like 19, 20. We're all in good shape, you know. So most of these guys are younger than me because I joined at 20. So most of these guys, they're like 18. The lowest is what, 18, 17 with permission. They're all like, and dust themselves off. The guys that made me laugh are the guys that smoked. And when they went in there and started doing that running and started doing I'll tell you what, they were joking. It was funny to watch. It was funny to watch them. Oh, they were dying, man. It was funny.
Dude. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
That's nuts.
Especially there.
No, but
when you're running.
That was really funny, like I said before, about that guy throwing the grenade into the... you're supposed to go 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, and then throw it at 4 1,000. Well, when he threw, and he have a blasting cap, so it's still got a little bit of power. Instead of having the dummy one, he put that real one, and that dummy threw up in the air, and that's when that drill sergeant was screaming at him. And he said, I ought to kill you, you know. What did you do to my man? You, my dummy, you son of a... And he was screaming at this guy. I don't know what happened, but he walked off screaming with him. So wherever he went wasn't good.
that's.
I'm like, I'm glad I'm not him. These other guys looking, saying, shh, quiet, man, keep low profile. Don't say not a word, man, because if he looks at us, we're all in trouble. So nobody looked at him, let him just walk away with the dude. He kind of gave us that evil eye, the drill sergeant. He's like, go ahead and say a word, man. And, we didn't say nothing, you know. Remind me of the guy. If you ever get a chance to see the movie, it's called it's a Marine and he's a DI and imagine this. I don't know if you ever watched Dragnet, but it's okay. If you ever watch the old Dragnet, this guy called Jack Webb, he'll give you, and he's got a real deep voice, but he'll give you a lecture for 20 minutes on why you broke the law.
Wow.
So he played a DI in the Marine Corps, and imagine how mean he was in the Marine Corps. Mm-hmm. He was something. Because I'll turn it on TV, and I'm like, oh, man, here we go. Here's the 20-minute lecture. I'll change it. I'll go to another channel. You know what you did this one. Why'd you do that one? And he's got a real deep voice, and he'll go, yeah, that's what you did. You should have did this. I'm like, oh, man, here we go again. You know,
that's how you broke the law.
Yeah, and that's what he says, you know. It's crazy. You know what's really crazy? For a joint, it was federal.
Wow.
Back then in the late 60s, it was a federal offense to have a joint on you.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but there was no law against taking acid or buying acid.
American baby.
The government.
Well, dude, there was a lot of weird stuff about that. I was just listening to something about like the beginning of acid and
like Woodstock.
It had something to do with like a foreign. It was like Germany made it or something. It was like after the Nazis, they were experimenting with it on like soldiers because they were doing like the meth and stuff too.
It's actually made of mold.
Really?
Yeah.
Like they had the methamphetamines for their soldiers so they could stay awake and do what is that called? Blitzkrieg?
Isn't there like a theory that Hitler was addicted to meth?
Dude, no,
he was like
videos of him like
yeah, there was. So I can't remember who it is. But yeah.
Funny story.
Yeah,
funny story. So that video was at the Olympics, I think like the first ones or whatever, and he wasn't actually on meth yet. So he was getting like there's a journal of his personal physician. And it's detailed what he did. He was taking like straight shots of sugar.
Ooh.
And then like he was getting like crazy like
sugar power.
This guy that was his doctor was like this evil
first energy drink.
Dude, right.
Sugar shot.
Right.
SS sugar shot or whatever. But
1 lump or 2.
Yeah. Anyways, it's like very detailed about all this stuff, and it was like test medicine that he was like wanting to put in on the whole country, and Adolf was like, try it on me. I will be a superhuman.
Yeah, but doesn't...
And he's like, if I take it, the whole country will.
Yeah, but don't you ever think it... Why do they got... Doesn't Adolf sound like Adolf Tacos?
I've never met him. Adolf Tacos?
Adolf Tacos. But yeah, you're right. He was... Adolf Hitler was actually a serial killer.
So,
if you want to talk about acid... Who was a person that killed him, actually fried his brain on it?
Who?
Sid Barrett.
From?
Sid Barrett is the original lead and founder of Pink Floyd.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know any of
his real name is Roger Barrett.
Okay.
And he became a paranoid schizophrenic. Within 3 months, he was doing 125. If you go on YouTube, you can see his first trip. They filmed it on 8mm.
Oh,
And it's
that's
on
sick.
YouTube. I'm
No
serious.
way.
You could see the kind of fading picture because it's 8mm, but it's Sid.
Wow.
Sid died in July of 2007, I believe. He lived with his mother all that time, but he still got residuals.
Oh, wow.
You ever heard of the song "Wish You Were Here"?
Yeah.
That's about Sid.
Wow.
Yeah. Sid came in the studio. He was a fat, bald dude, and they turn on. And they says, "Who's that fat, bald dude?" And then they realized it was Sid when he left. The Wall is about Sid. A lot of that music's about Sid.
Wow.
Roger Barrett, a lot of was super, super good friends with Sid. And so actually his name was Roger. But Sid Barrett, the reason they call him Sid because of the acid. Sid.
Wow.
But yeah, he was
Makes
making
sense.
his own acid, 125 and sugar cubes in his basement.
I think I've heard of this,
Jesus.
actually.
And he fried his brain.
Wait, what's the 125? Like just a dose?
It's a pure drop of pure acid. I don't know. I've never had 125.
Dude, wow.
I mean, I tried psilocybin once,
Mm-hmm.
and I was riding a camel for about 2 days.
What? Like literally?
Riding a camel, riding a camel, riding a camel.
Were you tripping the camel?
Yeah, I was tripping on a camel. You know, I'll tell you what. Me and Dave one time, Dave was doing purple microdot, and I was doing MDA.
What the hell?
What's
what the hell's
purple microdot?
That? Yeah.
Purple microdot
Dude,
is.
that's a crazy name, bro.
You never heard of it?
Title.
No.
How about the Wizard? Or
The Wizard.
yeah, the Wizard. It looks
one?
like Walt Disney's. It's the Wizard. It's a
Okay.
blotter.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Oh.
yellow barrel, orange barrel. Oh man!
Dude, what?
But yeah,
That sounds dangerous.
that's
man.
acid.
Dude, these
It
are all-
was dangerous.
these are
You trip. You really trip. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's crazy.
But yeah,
What's the most amount of? Have you done like a giant amount of acid before?
no, I only did one at a time. I always had my limit. That's why I probably still have part of my brains today. But there's times that I'll, and I'll be I have a bad habit of talking to myself too, and I think that's part of.
I talk
think
to myself.
Could
too.
be the acid. No, or maybe when I shave my head. But I don't. Yeah, we did that too. Me, Timmy, and Dave. I had hair past my shoulders,
Dude.
and Dave goes, Timmy goes, "I'll give you $300." I had really nice hair. I had it cut like David Cassidy in the 70s.
Dude.
And he goes,
Righteous.
"You cut it. I'll give you $300." I said, "Okay." So I cut it off. He never gave me my $300. I was pissed.
Oh no.
So, anyways, we're at McDonald's, and this girl's going, "My God, you shaved your head." And we all slapped our heads. Yeah. She's like, these guys are weird.
Wow.
So,
So
but yeah, it was weird. We were only 13 years old with bald heads. And in 1973, everybody had long hair except for us. We had bald. Now it's no big deal, but then
they're like,
it was totally weird.
Wow.
But you know what? Like you said, blame it on being a kid.
Say what?
Blame it on being a dumb kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think anybody that says they didn't make stupid mistakes is full of crap.
Or maybe the dumb dope.
The what?
The dope I was on would maybe shave my head out. I woke up the next morning and I looked in the mirror and I cried.
Oh no.
I was in tears. Oh my God. And and then Timmy's laughing. What's so funny? I look at Tim and say, "Tim, what's so funny? You're bald too." And he's like, "Oh man." Yeah, he was bald headed too,
Dude.
But oh yeah. Tim was out there. He was different. Dave wasn't bad. Long as he was stoned, he was okay.
You got a story or something?
No, I was looking at purple microdots. It's just type of acid. It's LSD. It's like
Yeah.
It's a
like
pill.
it's a different. Like,
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't think it was a blotter. It might have been, but I can't remember. It's been so long.
What's a blotter?
Blotter is a paper acid on paper.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Take it,
Yeah.
eat it
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
the paper. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's I had a cousin, or actually this guy named Bobby Whitten, supposedly did 50 hits and sat in a corner and hummed.
Holy shit.
He was fried.
Oh my god.
Did he
Can you
come back?
from that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is probably not funny, but his brother turned around and was sniffing gas all the time. He loves sniff
Oh,
gas.
I mean, it does smell
I
pretty
like
good.
the smell of gas, dude.
It's funny, but yet it ain't funny, okay?
No.
His brother goes out and he sniffs his gas and he tries to hang himself.
Oh.
Well, that's
And he
not
can't
funny.
die because he's on gas. So he now
Gas,
yeah, no shit.
Wait,
Hang
what?
on. I'm not laughing,
Yeah.
but
It's
he can't die because he's on gas?
Yeah, because the gas kept him alive.
Kept his what?
How?
Kept his brain function. He broke his neck and everything.
Oh my god.
So then he went to an institution, and I know it sounds terrible, but he's going, wall, tree, window. I mean, he was
Whoa.
gone. His brain was gone.
Damn.
Well, I don't know if the gas did it or I'm breaking his neck. But,
Damn.
yeah. I had a cousin. He graduated from college, and he wanted to go to college. So he graduated. He was going to be a professor. He's doing 106 miles an hour to campfire for 3 days. He was upside down in a creek, and the blood went to his brain. He was a vegetable.
Jesus.
Wow.
Well,
How did he end up upside down?
hit the tracks on 106 miles an hour. They were about probably 8 inches, 10 inches tall.
What's
the track
it? Oh,
was.
like a railroad track?
Railroad tracks.
Oh.
So he
Boom.
flipped and
Damn.
wasn't able to pull himself out.
Yeah, he was done. I mean, hey, but you know what? It goes to the fact that people, back again to people should, I mean, and I don't say, I didn't really know my cousin that much,
Mhm.
but it goes to one thing: drive careful.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just be safe,
Yeah. Yeah.
People do some stupid junk.
Cars are
when they drive.
dangerous, man.
Dude, there's danger out there everywhere.
Well,
It's
what
so
it is,
nuts.
everybody has zones, and not be too clinical, but the point is, when you've got a vehicle, your zone is bigger. So therefore, you think you're almost invincible, which is
Mhm.
very true. They think they're invincible. Because you can basically, I can do anything. I'm in a vehicle,
Yeah. Yeah.
So you hit a
must
tree.
not like Bettendorf.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously,
We got
something
we got
else
a
I'm
fuck
looking into
Bettendorf
right
sticker
now.
over here. if
Yeah.
anybody's-
Dude, I got that. I bought that off. Man, I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, where'd
we
that
were
come
at
from?
Jimmy's.
It's
Getting
kind of
food?
mean, man.
Dude, they were
Don't
selling
you
like
live in Bettendorf?
hotcakes. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's why it's even more funny.
Bettendorf is money.
Dude,
Bettendorf is money.
Bettendorf.
there's this so I swear I saw Bill Murray in Davenport one time.
Mhm.
Didn't y'all? That was
and
him.
he has family here.
Does he
Okay.
really?
Yeah, I think it's like Rock Island or something. There's something weird. He's got somebody here. I was driving downtown Davenport, and I saw this dude, and I was with Micah, and I was like, dude, that looked like Bill Murray.
Yeah, but
and then I noticed all these people running towards him. I was like, dude, I think that was Bill Murray. And then literally, like, he found this interview of Bill Murray being like talking about the QC,
Weird.
and he's like, I hate Bettendorf.
you
He's
know,
like, people are so uppity and stuff. And I was like, dude, song title. Sorry, hang on. I was like, song title, Bill Murray hates my hometown.
That's pretty good.
That's
yeah.
good.
Bill Murray hates.
You
my
could bring that
hometown.
idea.
I just never had a song that it worked for. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was at last year, and we were memorializing a tree for somebody that passed away because they work with planting trees and all this.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who looked just like Bill Murray, and everybody's sitting there,
No
and they're
way.
all bored to death, and we're just sitting there. And I went, "Hey, man, has anybody ever told you like Bill Murray? He looked like Caddyshack, right?" And he goes, "No, but that's kind of cool." And then Derek, Derek goes, "Only you, Buck. Only you." And they're all cracking up. But I broke up the monotony.
Yeah.
Oh, you made it.
That's
Somebody's
like
gotta.
you want to
Somebody's
try.
gotta.
You want to try something different, and let's just say you go to somewhere and it gets really boring, and you don't know what you're doing. Do this, okay? They're all there, and they're all saying, and I've done this, and I was in a room with hundreds of people, and I had a foreman, this Larry Grays. So anyway, so Larry turned around, and he says,
Call back.
and it's all boring. Everybody's sweating. There's really no good air conditioning in this big hall we're in. And you could hear him on the intercom, and you could see him standing there, and he turned around. I mean, he's way up there. And I turned around, and he says, "Does anybody have any questions?" And I went, "Yeah, who cut your hair, man?" And he went, the whole entire place just cracked up. They just went nuts, and it broke the monotony up.
Bro, that's
And again, somebody looks at me and says, "Only you, Buck." But that's just the way I am.
Dude, I love it.
dude, I
Dude,
absolutely.
that
It
could
broke
be
the monotony up. I was thinking, well, that's like, okay, when I was at work and I had done an accident at work, and I'm over there, and they keep looking at me like I did this on purpose. And I said, I know I'm going to get fired for this. And I got this whole committee, and I looked over, and I looked up, and I said, I've been here 25 years. Why in the world would I do this on? And then they said I grabbed the sprocket because I cut my hand. Why would I grab the sprocket on purpose? And they turned around and looked at me, and basically, not long after that, I was fired. But I got back again, of course.
The return.
Return of
Revenge
BUCKMASTERS,
tour.
dude.
Revenge tour.
Yes, and then the guy I work with, when I retired, he goes, "Why are you retiring?" I said, "Come on, I cut my finger off here. I'm leaving. I'm done."
Fair. That's pretty fair.
Well, that's the truth, you know.
Oh, dude, bro.
They're looking. I mean, everybody else saying, "Yeah, Buck, I don't believe you. I don't blame you for leaving." You know, I'm on a 3-year letter. That's like I smashed into a doorway, and I hope Dale hears this someday. He knows I did it, and I smashed into the doorway. And they were 8-foot doorways, right? Because the fork truck won't fit through the doorway. A guy named Lamont Robinson called me. He said, Lamont says, hey, Buck, come here. Well, I just kept going. It was my third day, no overhead on the doorway. Boom. The whole doorway went. This is about 50 foot up, right? So it was okay for about a week or two, and then it started splitting.
Oh, no.
But my 3-year letter, I couldn't have an accident for 3 years. Okay. But it just so happens that I hit this doorway. Now it's September. My letter was up in May. So Dale, we were all buddies and they're working. Now he's a foreman. And he turned around and he says, well, let's go take a look. I said, going to fire me today or tomorrow. Because I ain't told him my letter's up. He looks at it and says, holy crud, you got no letter or nothing. You'll just have a verbal. By the time you retire, by the time this verbal's done, you'll be retired. I said, yeah, I know. So, because it's a year later, well, I was done it would have been the next September. I retired the next May. I was done. Mm-hmm. They couldn't get me for nothing. But yeah, that place, we won't mention the company, but they're a joke.
No, we won't.
They're a joke.
Hey, they all are, brother.
Every one of them wants you're just a number. That's all you are, is a number.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all we are, man.
We were just talking
All
about
those
something
numbers.
kind of like that
Oh, yeah,
earlier.
we are.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about my landlord earlier. Yeah.
You just,
Yeah.
hey, dude, I'm just a number.
I'm just a number, dude.
That's pretty good. I like that. I'll remember that. Yeah. I just go to pay the mortgage. Just a number, man. Here's $1. Well, you owe me another 800.
It's just a
It's
number.
just a number here. That would be good to do. Well, when the number's got to be higher, give me some more, But yeah.
Dude, so can you tell us about the Buck tattoo?
Dude, I was just gonna ask that.
Please.
How'd you get the nickname Buck, and how'd you get the tattoo?
My dad's name was Bucky. They called him Bucky. And so I decided I'm going to go and put something on my arm. And I had it put on my arm, and it didn't say Buck at first. It was bad. So anyway, I had it filled in.
No way,
Yeah.
dude.
Can
Really?
you see it?
What'd it say?
Look.
Yes.
See the 3?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
But I was working at a restaurant.
Oh my God, dude!
I was working
way.
Yeah, I was working at a restaurant, and
way.
And the guy walks over and says, "No, you can't work here with that. You're gonna have to have that fixed." I'm like, "Okay." And I had this girl, and her name was Denise Swaffer, and she was one fine girl. And Denise was pretty as heck. And so then she turned around and decided she put a tattoo on a cross on my shoulder too, but she put that on. Man, did that hurt? But I was drinking; it's on the bone. It wasn't as bad. But then I'm like, really? I looked at it and said, "Oh man!" So I went to work. That a couple days later,
You didn't know what she was putting?
No, I was drinking and
How old were
indulging in drugs.
Oh, yeah.
I was doing drugs.
How old were you?
I was 16.
How old
That's a
was
great
she?
16-year-old tattoo.
But the drugs wasn't on my mind, man. What was on my mind was that Denise.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Denise.
I wasn't thinking about anything but Denise.
You're like, you can tattoo
man.
anything.
Tattoo
on me.
whatever you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah. Oh, that's the way, it's just at that time, I was probably just as much as into getting high as Dave was,
Okay.
But yeah.
So did the nickname come from the tattoo, or did you have the nickname already?
After that, I said, I'm going to just, I'm lucky. My last name's Buckmaster.
Well, you're Bucky, yeah.
My dad's name was Buck, so I said, okay, fine, I'll just go with that.
Was your
Dude.
dad Buckmaster, or is his nickname Buck?
His nickname was Bucky.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I mean, and, technically, I I mean, would you really want to go down with a nickname with that? Hey, come here. And you really wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
We could imagine that, a 4-letter word. That's not good. But yeah.
Oh,
So you can
man.
read between the lines on that one.
Dude, you should have got the fixed part. You should have done that like a different color.
Yeah.
So you still clearly.
You know what I think? I think, if I remember right, because I was half wasted, to be honest with you, I think Dave did the first part, and I think Denise did the second part. I think that's what happened.
Wow.
Either way, I was stoned each one.
Either way.
The pain, I mean, you're talking a needle, an Indian ink, and thread.
Was it a stick and poke or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It was not. We didn't they didn't have tattoo places like they do now.
Oh, man.
So that was just an unsterile sewing needle?
Yeah. It
Well, it's
might have been
probably
sterile.
sterile.
Might have burned it, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good enough.
yeah.
Good enough. You get it
Good
done.
Maybe.
Get it done. Yeah. Hey, made it this long.
I mean, it didn't kill you.
Yeah.
No,
Made you
it
stronger.
could have, but it didn't. But yeah, that was a weird. That was weird. That was. I mean, there's another thing. Me and David decided one time. We seen these buildings way off in the distance, and we said that's a bomb shelter because it looked like it's by a Coca-Cola factory, but it was way off by something the fence. It was yellow buildings that looked like a military installation. So we decided we're going to go out there. So we see all this. We didn't realize that there was mud. I'm talking, oh, man, it was way out there. It probably took us 10, 15 minutes walk all the way out there. But we didn't realize it's February, it's mucky, and there's mud between there and them buildings and us. So we walked through there, and we got to the point where we got your shoes stuck and everything. And
Sound effects are great tonight, Buck.
it was terrible. It was, you're trying to pull your shoe out, and Dave's like, oh, I can't get one shoe. I think I almost didn't get it out. We got it out. So we walked around here and we're looking for all this stuff. There's nothing in it. So then we finally come all the way back. Then we started hitchhiking. And this real good looking chick picks her up with her dad. White interior on a convertible. Man, we got in the back of that thing and just muddy-fied it.
Oh.
It was terrible. She goes, I'm sure glad I gave you guys a ride. The old man didn't look back, so he didn't know how much we muddied his back of his. It was vinyl, white vinyl.
He did
Everything. Oh, we had muddied everything back there.
Dude, that is so crazy.
That was very crazy.
People don't pick up hitchhikers anymore.
I mean,
No, not like they used to. And you don't.
You have?
I thought I seen a dude yesterday hitchhiking.
did you?
Yeah, I was like, oh, wow, man. I mean, is he going to see? I mean, how many serial killers out there now,
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
I was walking. I don't know if I told you guys about this story. I was walking with my dog this winter, and I'm walking at 2:30 in the morning, and I'm walking down Myrtle Street by 15th, because I live on 15th. I walk between Myrtle and 14th, 15th Street. And I looked up, and I seen a half moon, and the illumination was really big time. And I said, we got to get out of here, Pookie. That's the name of my dog. And we're walking. It is. So we're walking, and she usually wants to sniff everything. And I looked up, and I seen this thing standing there looking at me, and it had no face. And it had, I wish I could show you a picture sometime of what it looks like. I didn't know what the heck it was, but it had no face.
on 2 legs?
Yeah, it was a person with no face.
How far away?
What?
Oh, it was 2 yards away, and then when I said I got to look one more time, and then I'm gonna haul. So then I looked. So then I looked down again, and it's closer. I said, "Man,"
Yeah.
I said, "Pookie, let's haul." Instead of her taking around sniffing, I don't know if she figured out what was going on, but she hauled all the way to the house. I mean,
look back
you're
again?
talking about a block and a half.
Was it like a ski mask no face, or was this like a
Well, then I-
multi-dimensional being?
It
Yeah.
looked like a person with Western clothes on with no face. Then I looked it up. It's called the ghost with no face.
That's what it's called.
And
No
it scared the
way.
living. Yeah.
I was
There's
I'm
stuff-
thinking Slender Man is where it was going.
Yeah.
This looked like a regular Western. The clothes were old.
Okay.
And I got a picture of something like it in my phone, but I won't.
What?
Yeah.
So you had an encounter with this thing. You
It
Googled
was-
it, and you're like, "That's exactly what I saw."
Yeah. And so then basically I was going down about a month later, and I call it Creepy Street. Pookie will try to take off sometimes. I go, no, we're not going to go to Creepy Street, not no more. But here's another thing. There's there's an abandoned house over there, right? And I guess these ghosts with no face, they live in them. They stay in these houses. And I had just looked at right before that, when that happened, that incident, I looked in the window at this 2-story window, and I'm staring into it, and I'm thinking, man, is there anything in there? And that's when I turned and looked and seen that thing standing, and I'm like, holy. And that's like I said. Then I said, after I look again, we're going to haul. So that's when we got
That's
out
the
of it.
second time, or this was the first one?
That was the time.
That was the same situation.
That was the same time.
Right. I looked at but then I read it up, and it said they call it, it's actually it's a ghost from China. And it's called a ghost with no face. And what it is,
It wears Western clothes?
that's what I guess.
It
but
changes clothes.
it was almost like a female Grim Reaper.
Okay.
It had a bonnet on her head. So then about a month later, I'm going down by the street, and I seen this lady, and she said, oh, yeah, I seen her too. It's a lady, isn't it? And I said, yeah. She said, I see her all the time on the corner.
Really?
I'm like, she's like, it didn't even blow her mind. I'm like, I ain't going down that street
you're like,
no more.
what the fuck?
One time is enough for me, But yeah.
Dude, we should go try
I was
to
gonna
get this
say.
on
Gotta get it on
camera.
camera.
Go ahead and do it. 2:30
There's
in the morning.
also a Banshee of Brady Street.
Really?
You ever heard of that?
Uh-uh.
I haven't done enough research
That's
on
a
it.
ghost, right?
There's called the Banshee of Brady Street. There's like something that's like,
Oh,
I don't even know. It's like something like screams. Like you'll hear like screams on Brady Street.
This didn't even scream. But the
Dude.
thing is, when I looked it up too, it said, because what I got so scared about, I kept thinking that, did I see, I mean, anything's possible now. Did I actually see a serial killer or somebody following me?
an actual,
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And
a
I
real-
thought, that's when I started, because I was really freaking out, because I was like, what if they followed me to my house?
Yeah.
So then that's when I started looking up on the research, and I seen that. And I was like, oh, that's what that is. So it's not saying I didn't want to go down the street. I wouldn't do that. But it didn't scare me much thinking it was a human.
Yeah.
A human's worse,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I'm not going by that house and staring in the window so this thing can look. Like I said, every once in a while, Pookie will take off. She's like, let's go down this street. And I'm like, no.
No.
We're not going down Creepy Street. I don't even care if it's daytime. I'm not going down it. And I will swear on a stack of Bibles, I seen that thing. And I'll tell you what, it's the scariest thing.
Dude,
I
I just
bet.
thought about it and got kind of creeped out.
Well, here's another thing that happens to me. All my family passed away. My sister died of drugs and alcohol abuse. My mom died in the hospital. My dad died. Of course, he was 80 years old. And my aunt passed away. And I'll always be, and this has always happened to me, and I don't know, ever since they passed away, I can be laying down and son of a buck, hey, that's me. I'll look up, and guess what? There's somebody looking at me.
Oh, Jesus.
It's happened to me so many times. And I don't just go, hey. I go, oh, and I scream. What would you do?
Yeah.
One time I was in the
yeah.
backyard. The most recent one, I was in the backyard, and I'm laying down. I'm falling asleep in the chair. I'm so exhausted. You know, I was working all the time and working out. So I fell asleep in the chair. And what happened was I got up literally almost screaming out of that chair because this older lady, I seen the dress of a spotted dress with this older lady heavy set staring at me. And I got up and screamed, and the dog looked at me like, are you okay? Are you all right? Because she even freaks out sometimes because I'll get up out of my sleep. Kind of like, you ever heard of the stick man or the thin man or that
Yeah.
crap?
Slender Man.
Is it
Yeah,
Slenderman?
Slender Man.
Yeah.
Tall,
I mean,
skinny.
I've had this happen to me. This has been going on ever since they passed away.
Jesus.
I would
Wow.
rather have them come in my dreams and sit there and stare at me. That's the worst thing in the world. Maybe it's my payback because my ex-wife, I used to do that to my sister. Maybe she's paid me back. Because I used to put a mask on when she was sleeping. She'd get up screaming, oh! Now she's doing it to me.
Wow.
That sounds likely.
Honestly, you were losing me there for a second, but now with that context, I'm like, yeah, that probably is what it is, man.
Well, my best friend from work had got mesothelioma cancer. And this is sad, but it's true. But this is how he paid me back. Okay, he got cancer for the first time. I did a raffle over in Kelowna for him to get money. So he had surgery. It went better. And he turned around and said, and it was supposed to go for like 9 hours, only 5. It didn't go through the organs. So he had the surgery. Then he tried to come back for 2 jobs. 10 hours at Kraft, or I shouldn't say the company, but 10 hours where we worked, and then 8 hours at another company.
Mm.
And then he turned around, and what he did, he turned around and it came back. But this time he couldn't eat. So he was like 6'5", and he got down to like, when I seen him, he was like 80 pounds.
Oof.
He was in a bucket, drooling into a bucket, taking morphine.
My God.
But he told me, he called me. This is the funny part. He called me on July 10th, and I'm on this real hot date with this chick. And he calls me up. He says, come on, man. I'm on my birthday. And he turns around and says, I want you to come over. I said, I can't, man. I'm on a hot date. So then he got me back. He died on mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
He died on my birthday.
Oh, he
Wow.
definitely got
My
you
birthday,
there,
yeah. His birthday was July 10th. Mine is September 7th. He died on my birthday.
You just
So
waited.
I don't
He
forget
held
it
out.
now. It
Yeah.
was 16 years ago. But that was
Man.
his payback to me.
He got you.
He got me.
Yeah, he can.
I'm telling you know what's funny about that dude? Here's a real funny story. He was the maintenance guy at do all the that remind me of something. That fix all the racks and everything. So one time I went and drove underneath the conveyor and I pulled it up and there was an air pumps in there and I ripped it out of the floor and I go, damn, you see what happened? He said, yeah, you ripped up my air pump, you jerk. So he went over and fixed it. So then the next time, one time, this is like payback, so, you know. So it is about 2 or 3 years later, he turned around and he's over there and he's doing the mirrors and he's got I don't know if you ever seen a stand-up truck. And he's on the stand-up truck. It goes up and down highways.
Yeah.
Well, he goes under the mirror and cracks it. He goes, damn, look what happened. I said, yeah, you screwed up the mirror. So I paid him. I said something else, but he said, oh, smart ass. But, yeah, I got him back, see. Oh, you know how I met him? I was going down one day, and all of a sudden, I was driving down the fork truck, and I said, oh, and I started yelling out stuff from Adolf Hitler, and he got a haircut and all this, and he goes, fine. And he started saying all kinds of other crazy crap. Put it this way, our favorite song between me and him was YMCA.
Absolute banger.
Well, I know.
Yeah, dude.
When I DJ, I played YMCA.
Slept
That was a
on.
little trick to him, but yeah. But after he passed away, his wife, in fact, I went this winter to a bar, and we all showed up. The people from work, and she finally retired from there. But yeah, it was a ride to work with that guy. He was so funny. It was, but like I said, when he busted that mirror, I turned around, looked, and I said, "Hey," I said, "Yeah, you effed the mirror up." He's like, "Oh, smart ass," because I got him back.
Dude.
Yeah,
I can't even begin to imagine just like you just said something about DJing.
right.
And I'm like, dude, we didn't even get to DJing yet. Like,
Oh,
I know.
I DJ'd slicks for 2 years. I DJ'd all kinds of weddings. One of my favorite, and I'll mention this, one of my favorite DJs is Candyman. I love Candyman.
dude,
DJ
you know what
Candyman.
this feels like to me? When we started, it we were not like hopping all over in a bad way. It was like a cinematic movie experience where like it starts here and then it comes back and then you get side story on these guys. And I'm like, dude, I don't know if we usually do like an hour.
Right.
And I was like, bro, we might have to do like the BUCKMASTERS tapes.
We might have to get a part 2 here.
Dude, yeah.
One thing I'm going to say, I know I'm not trying to advertise, but if you're going to buy CDs, go to Co-op Records and Tapes. I want to keep them in business. That's why I said
Where's it
that.
at? Where's it at?
It's at Moline. It's on
right?
23rd Avenue.
Dude, heck yeah,
Awesome.
man.
Do they do records too, or
Yes, they have vinyl too, and cassettes. I mean, you can special order from them, and 9 times out of 10 they can get it for you.
Really?
Oh,
That's
cool.
what I love about them. They should. Reed's a great guy. All the people that work there are fantastic.
Dude. You go there a lot then?
Yes, I do.
That's awesome, dude.
I like going to that place. And of course, Amazon. But I like going there. I really like going to Co-op. Co-op is
Co-op you said.
yeah, Co-op Records.
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
Tapes.
know
Oh, yeah,
Co-op. Yeah. I didn't
And
know what you said.
I
about
mean,
that.
I told them that if I ever got in a podcast, I'm going to tell them about Co-op Records. And people need to go there. It's a
Dude.
good place.
I'll have to check it out. I don't think I've ever been.
I don't definitely not the Moline one.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
get
yeah,
to
there's
Moline a lot, to be
2.
On
honest.
23rd.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'll have to check that out
Dude,
It's good. If you want to get special order stuff, you can.
for sure.
That's what I like about them.
That's super cool.
And then they have one year where they have a special vinyl sale, and they'll have CDs of certain special vinyl that you can't find anywhere. They'll have one day once a year, and they come out there, and all these vendors come out. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's
That's
cool.
super cool.
Yeah,
Just
dude.
go crazy on record.
and you can
Great.
buy. A lot of times, you can buy tickets from Rust Belt over there.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I've seen that too. I've
yeah,
seen
yeah,
that.
you can.
I've seen
That's
that.
cool, man.
Yeah,
Well,
but
dude,
that's Reed has always been good to me. So yeah,
I
Dude,
think
hell yeah.
Hey, I love the shout out at the end. That's nice.
Yeah, that's
go
cool.
there, get a record, get
Yeah.
something.
bro, you have some of the awesomest stories that I think I've ever heard from
Dude.
any coworker ever, maybe any person ever.
well,
Just
I don't. I'm just me. You know.
I like it.
Dude,
I-
absolutely.
I lived in Calumet City, Illinois, and I had and this is the truth. I had a gun on me put on my head 3 times in Calumet City, Illinois when I was 17 the same summer.
Jesus.
Like getting robbed or something?
No, the first one was they were trying the police were trying to go down in Calumet City, and they were trying to catch a guy with a gun or a weapon, I say, in the Wentworth Woods area. And some guy come out with a nice big machete. So I think it was some guy going around committing murders. And he actually stuck the 38 between me and Dave and told us just to get it. Didn't even say, frisk or nothing, just wham against the car. And out of that deal, I don't know if they got the real guy, but then the next incident, I was living with this older woman. My mom was living in a cottage in the back. She was my girlfriend. And the landlord came out and said, "We're making too much noise," and hit me in the face with a 45.
Jesus.
And I told my mom, I said, "I'm going to go press charge." She said, "No, I get kicked out of my building." I'm thinking, that's nice. And then the last time I was working at a cigarette stand, and it's in Riverdale, Illinois, and the only person, in fact, Dave is the one who got me a job over there. A week before it, this guy over there, they used to get cigarettes in there, and they had cigarettes and all kinds of other merchandise, but it was a little like shack. The only thing there was a roasted chicken and a factory and this cigarette stand. And they didn't even have a cashier, and you had to take $100 bills, put them in a rubber band, and throw it down a tube. So one day this guy walks in. Yeah, one day this guy walks in. His name was Bob Maynard. He's gone now. Anyway, so he walks in there and starts hitting Dave. And says, first he puts a weapon down on the shelf. I'm thinking, what am I going to do? And he starts hitting Dave with a kind of like cops do in the ears. And he's saying, "You didn't break up these boxes." He was nuts. So then I'm a dummy. I'm 17 years old. I told you I was on my own. I left when I was 16. I'm working at a cigarette stand by myself now, and I'm dropping these $100 bills with these rubber bands in there, and I got a line of people, believe it or not, the factory people. Not some of the roasted chicken people, but mostly were just the factory people. And I'm getting a line. I'll get them in rushes. And I'm trying to drop these down. This guy walks in, and he says, "What the hell's going on?" And I'm like, I'm trying to write up this on a brown paper bag to add this money. I don't have a cash register. So I'm trying to drop this hundreds. And this guy says, and I smarted off to him. And he picked me up in the air, and he stuck that freaking pistol to the side of my head and said, "I had done 7 years in the joint. I had to blow you away right now. Wouldn't even bother me." So he sat me back down and made me deliver milk in Harvey, Illinois. And at the time, it wasn't a good place to be. People were screaming and hollering racial things to me. And I'm looking at the older guy, and it's snowing. And I'm saying, "Hey, dude, help me with he wouldn't even get out of the truck." Anyways, for some particular reason, Bob Maynard, which his uncle was a head guy in some outfit, illegal outfit. Anyway, so then basically what happened after that, I don't know what happened to him, but they found out he was setting up the robberies, was in the place. A couple of people got killed in that cigarette stand. He disappeared.
Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
that
He's
is
probably
insane.
in Lake Michigan right now, just swimming along
The
in
Finger
cement.
Lakes.
The Finger Lakes. Dude.
Swimming in cement. Just back and
Wow.
forth. You imagine
Fuck.
like a cartoon,
Buck, you
just
gotta,
going back and forth.
you gotta come back sometime, man.
I love
Dude,
it.
Did
It's
you have
fantastic.
fun?
Please
Was this a
come
good
back.
experience?
So what's your point? No, I'm just playing.
Yeah. So once you start you got to start a show yourself. You
Yeah.
got to
I'm
get a
going
podcast.
to.
Have to.
I'm going to. I'm a naturalist.
What's your point?
I know,
man?
yeah.
I mean, once you do, let us know and we'll shout it out.
What was it called?
Absolutely.
So what's your point?
So what's your point?
Yeah.
That's the working title, right? That's what we're.
At Buck.
Hey, we
so
should
what's
call
your
the
point?
episode "So What's Your Point."
That's a good one. Yeah.
There's been so many good episode
That's a good
titles in this episode.
Yeah, honestly.
though. Like,
So what's
Yeah,
your point?
Yeah. Yeah. Once you have it running, let us know. We'll definitely shout it out. We'll definitely.
Okay.
and
That'll
we
work.
should.
That'll work for me.
Yeah.
What was
That'll work for
the
you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
purple micro dot? Is that what you said?
Purple
Micro
dot.
Dot.
That's probably the
Orange
title.
barrel.
Or yeah.
Four-way window pane. MDA. That was my friend. MDA. Of course, I grew up and got out of that. You know what I mean? It's just sad that I look at it, to make a long story short, that people, I don't care what you do in your life. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do, that's fine. But moderation.
Absolutely.
Everything in moderation.
That's some wisdom.
Totally agree
right
with
there.
Don't let it do you. You do it.
Dude.
That's
Me-
a great way to end this.
God, dude.
I know.
Buck.
That's real good.
Thank you, man. Thank you
Gotcha.
for coming.
We will be back.
We will be back next time, folks.
Bye.